Sadashivasamarambham Shankaracharyamध्यamam Asmadacharyaparyantam Vande Guru Paramparam. I welcome you all with my love and respects. Today's subject, out of body experience. Patanjali takes us to the next level, a deeper samyama. Hundred and 45th Sutra of Patanjali's Yoga Sutras, in the 3rd chapter, 39th verse. Bandha karana saitilyat prachara samvedanacha chittasya parasarira aveshaha. Bandha karana saitilyat prachara samvedanacha chittasya parasarira aveshaha. Wow. Swami Vivekananda translates this sutra as, when the cause of the bondage has become loosened, the yogi, by his knowledge of its channels of activity of the chitta, enters another's body. I know, I need to talk on this sutra for a week. So many sacred secrets. Swami Prabhavananda translates this sutra as, when the bonds of the mind caused by karma have been loosened, the yogi can enter into the body of another by knowledge of the operation of its nerve currents. Swami Sachidananda translates this sutra as, by the loosening of the cause of the bondage of mind to body, and by knowledge of the procedure of mind stuff's functioning, entering another's body is accomplished. Bhagavan Osho translates this sutra as, loosening the cause of bondage and knowing the channels allows the mind to enter another's body. Let me reveal the sacred secrets from this sutra. 3 things. 1, the technique to loosen yourself from the body you created is taught. 2nd, to enter into another one body is taught. 3rd, please understand, the entering into another body means, 1, entering into a living body or dead body, or creating new body for the next birth. All these 3 means by the word entering into another body. So this one Samyama Sutra explains a siddhi and science of enlightenment. It is just simply teaching you the science of how to loosen from your body, enter into any living body or dead body, or create a new body and assume a new body. You can use it for any purpose. You can use it for some siddhi, or you can use it to become enlightened, or you can use it to assume a body after enlightenment. You can use it to experience anything in the life. I was taught this samyama by Raghupati Yogi. One day morning in the temple, he taught me this samyama. Samyama means how to loosen yourself from the system, enter into another one body. I'll finish telling this story, then I'll explain, because the story has many keys, sacred secrets. In the temple, he made me sit and taught how to loosen yourself from the different nerves. It is a simple conscious decision of not getting attached. Nothing else. It's a simple technique, conscious decision. I'll explain the technique in a very detailed, elaborate way. And he taught me that. I sat and practiced maybe for half an hour. I must be maybe 12 or 13. That must be the age, or maybe 14 also. But surely when I was living in Thiruvannamalai, I left Thiruvannamalai by 14 and a half. That means for the diploma mechanical engineering. 14 and a half, or that is the time I left. Left means I used to stay many days in the Polytechnic. So we both were walking after the samyama. We were walking to go round the hill. On the way, one government hospital, Thiruvannamalai is government hospital. Those days it was a small, now it has become big. Government hospital. We were walking in that way. Throughout the way he was talking, like you try this samyama on somebody and try to prove that you are able to do it. I was thinking what to do. Suddenly, when we were crossing the government hospital, I saw a nurse walking fast inside the hospital. You know, in those days, nurses will wear that long white dress. Immediately I told this Raghupati Yogi, I will do samyama on her. Very elderly lady, maybe 50 or 55. I just did samyama on her. But I was not able to get into her body completely. I was only able to connect with her eyes. Because the samyama which I practiced morning, I was able to loosen myself only from the eyes. That is the part first gets loosened. Because that is the part through which you relate with the world, more than 80%. So that got loosened in me. I was able to enter into her eyes. But I couldn't control or do anything other than the eyes part. Raghupati Yogi also understood. But he wants to check whether I am able to do it properly. Then after that, we sat there itself in one corner. She was attending a delivery. I described the whole delivery exactly. How the baby is coming out, how she is attending, and what all the equipments are used, and how the baby is washed with the soap, and how the baby has been beaten, how she held the baby. Everything I described in a very detailed way, because I am seeing through her eyes. End of the delivery, after she did everything, the relatives of the mother were waiting outside. The moment she came out, they gave a silver tumbler to her as a gift. I saw that also. I described the whole thing to Raghupati Yogi. Raghupati Yogi was convinced, yes, I am able to do that samyama. She just inserted that tumbler in the hip to hide from the other doctors and officials. Raghupati Yogi wanted to check the power of my samyama. When she came out, he took me. Raghupati Yogi took me inside the hospital and asked me to tell who is the nurse and where she is keeping the tumbler. I said, she is the nurse and she is keeping the tumbler here in the hip. Raghupati went and asked, did you get the silver tumbler as a bribe? She was shocked. And he said, you are keeping it in your hip. She was completely shaken. She said, how do you know, Swamiji? He said, I saw with my mantra power. And he spent some 2-3 words. He told some 2-3 words. She was shocked and she touched his feet and she went away. Then later on, Raghupati Yogi took me inside that place where the baby is there. I described before that itself to Raghupati Yogi some of the body marks and how the baby looked and all that. Went and saw inside, checked, everything was perfect. As I described, the small cart in which they keep the baby, that swing, everything was clean. Then I asked Raghupati Yogi, why I am not able to do the samyama of the whole body? Why I am not able to enter into her body completely? Then he said, very beautifully, first thing, the samyama is just to awaken that intelligence in you. Second, you are a conscious birth. If you enter into her whole body, even if you come back, she will become an incarnation or enlightened. Even if you step back, she will become enlightened. So that cannot happen. This is just to awaken your own powers to you, to remind you that you can do this. The samyama is done. You will not be able to fully enter into some body. If you enter, even if you come out, that person will be enlightened. Either he has to live an enlightened life or the person has to leave the body. I was shocked. This story will make you understand some of the key secrets. Now I am going to teach key points. First thing, understand, your interest on particular pleasure through a particular sense object makes you work through that nerve and experience different experiences of the world. Please understand, I am repeating once more. This is a basic rule, basic law. Your interest. For example, if you are highly interested in food, so you get into that nervous system which is responsible for tasting different varieties of food, and you taste, digest, enjoy and create more. For example, if you are interested in seeing, you get into the system, nervous system called seeing, which is necessary for seeing, and you see, create more and more experiences for the sake of pleasure of seeing. So now, understand this basic law. Whenever you decide that you don't want to use that particular sense anymore, you are not interested, then immediately a kind of a loosening happens in that nervous system. When I say loosening happens in that nervous system, now you are independent of that nervous system. If you lose all the interest on eating, you feel, I had enough. I think I am no more interested. It's okay if there is little food to maintain the body. Then immediately, the nervous system related to eating, you are loosened. The weight of engraved memories related to eating slowly leaves your system. Please understand. One more thing I wanted you to understand. If you have 100 strong engrams about eating in your eating nervous system, for more than 6 months you are not interested and you are not attending those 100 engram, slowly they will just die down. Even the number will reduce to 20 or 10. Even the number of engrams will drastically drop when you are not interested anymore in reusing them. It is like a unused clothes kept in your cupboard. After 6 months, naturally you either distribute it or throw it away or it gets stolen. There is an automatic intelligence ejecting engrams which is not being used regularly. Please understand, in your system, there is an automatic ejection system. That is why, after you stop playing with the toys, automatically that engram gets lost. Now you don't even know all the toys which you liked, which you felt as a life for you at one time of your life. I have seen sometimes attached to like a particular pillow, particular cot, particular bed sheet, or particular bag, particular mala, some sentiment. But when you stop using them or remembering them for 6 months, suddenly even those engrams get ejected out of your system. Consciously deciding and relaxing from particular pleasure understandings and ideas, please understand, consciously working and understanding particular engrams and that nervous system loosens your connection with it. When the number of engrams gets reduced on your body, that is the time you experience levitation. When the levitation happens on your system, many number of engrams just gets lost. Just gets lost. It is literally shaking your body. When you shake out, all the dust go away. If the shaking is from internal, all the engrams drop. But the levitation has to become deeper and deeper. Now most of you levitate only in the pranic level. It has not become the mental level or subtle level. If it becomes subtle level, then the stability in the air starts happening. So you guys are only dropping kind of a desires and guilt, not more than that. You guys are not yet started dropping pain. If you start dropping pain, then the stability in the air will start happening. See, it is the pain or the fear of getting hurt only makes you land on the ground back. When you raise, why do you want to come back? No. If I go up and fall, what will happen? Better let me land now itself. It is the fear of pain which is responsible for bringing you down, getting you back. So all the levitation happening as on now, the Kundalini awakening, is more pranic layer, the second layer. If you loosen yourself from many more nervous system, means many more desires, organs. I wanted to make it clear. Loosening yourself from the food does not mean you will stop eating. You will eat like a casual. It will not be a craving. Just day before yesterday, suddenly I told the brahmachari who gives me food, hey, get me tea. They said, no, tea is not good for you. I said, what do you guys mean? I don't drink tea regularly. That does not mean I am not supposed to drink tea. Get me the tea. And I got and drank. It is not that you will stop drinking tea. It will be just a casual flow where the craving is not there. Just suddenly I remembered tea. I said, come on, get the tea. That's it. Nothing else. Because in our ashram we don't have tea. Same way, loosening from the attachment of the smell does not mean you will stop smelling. No. There will not be any craving. It will be like your smell nervous system, your tasting nervous system, your seeing nervous system, all those things will be like a car parked in your car parking. When you want, you can go and get into that and drive that car. When you don't want, stop the car and get back to your place. I feel my body, different parts of my body is almost like different cars. Come on, let me get into this car now and drive around. Come back and park and relax. When you give a little rest to the car will be running and useful for a long time. Even when you don't drive, you don't switch off the car, it is always on. Running like how it runs when you stop in the signal. What will happen to the car? It gets damaged. It gets destroyed. Many times when you are enjoying smell, you are wasting many of your engrams and attachment in seeing. Many times when you are in the mood of the touch, experiencing touch, you are wasting part of your energy in tasting. Means you are driving one car, but you are not switching off the other car. You say, no, let all the 5 cars be running. The engine should be running. I will drive only one car. Then it is foolishness. Fuel is wasted, machine becomes tired, a lot of repairing is required, so many things. It is unnecessary torture, unnecessary disturbance. Yogi is a person who uses the nervous system whenever you need, who is able to switch it off whenever you don't need. You can loosen yourself from the eyes very easily. You can loosen yourself from the hearing very easily. You can loosen yourself from the tasting very easily. You can loosen yourself from the smelling very easily. You can loosen yourself from the touch very easily. If you are able to loosen yourself from the whole body, easily you can enter into other body. But the important thing you need to understand is, when you loosen yourself, you need to just know how to go out and come in. Otherwise you will be stuck outside. That is a big problem. You need to retain that umbilical cord connection. You need to go out and come in. Today morning I was scanning some of the Hatha Yoga Sutras, which connects and gives a elaborate, a deeper understanding for this Patanjali Yoga Sutra. I'll speak elaborately on that tomorrow by connecting and giving you a very clear system. Now understand these basic sacred secrets. 1, you can loosen yourself from any one of your nervous system by a simple conscious decision to detach yourself. 2nd, from any nervous system, when you detach yourself, you will know the signs of how it runs, so you can get out and get in to that nervous system by will. 3rd, when you have the ability to get out and get in, you will easily be able to get into any body and get out of any body. 4th, not only you will be able to get in and get out of some living body or dead bodies, you will be able to create a new body consciously and get into it for next birth. Or even while you are living in this body, you can get into another one body, another one child's body, or you can create one more child body and get into it and live in both bodies simultaneously. It is possible. Just few days before, one guy who does this kind of this Uchadana came to our ashram. Yesterday I explained Uchadana. Uchadana means using the traditional herbs and some sacred sounds, and using these two they will be able to do something extraordinary, which is supernatural as per the normal human standard. They will be able to move some objects from here to there. They will be able to, but in a limited way. That guy came to know about, I teleport vibhuti from one place to another place, country to country. I don't know whether he came to check out or he came for blessing or whatever. But he told me that he wanted to have my blessing. He enrolled for Kalpataru program. And he told one of our brahmachari, I also do this kind of teleporting and all that, but I wanted Swamiji's blessing. I wanted to have an enlightenment experience. I have seen money, name and fame, everything with these siddhis, but I have not had enlightenment. Only Swamiji can give enlightenment experience. I want this from Swamiji. Because he said he wants enlightenment, he is a seeker. I gave him audience. Just casually while talking, I touched his nervous system and found out whether really this fellow has a Uchadana power or is just doing only magic tricks. I saw he is having Uchadana power. But when I touched and found out, that fellow realized I already studied him. I have studied his system. And the funny part is, he tried to study me very secretly. He looked into he was trying to look into me. What was there? What is there? Or what I am thinking. He wanted to read my mind and surprise me or prove his power. I just opened. That fellow got frightened, completely shaken. He was sitting in the chair. He just fell on the ground and said, no, Swamiji, I have not come here to compete with you. I just came for blessing. Because he saw the vastness. There's no mind. He was shocked. And he asked me, when you teleport Vibhuti and all, don't you keep any herbs with you? Don't you chant any mantra? I looked at him and smiled. I don't even think that Vibhuti should go. It just goes, that's all. He was shocked. Then, in the Kalpatra Darshan, I told him, all right, you just sit in a relaxed way and chant whatever mantra you know. And he kind of gets into an altered state of awareness. Not transcendental or consciousness, kind of an altered state of awareness through the herbs and the mantra. So I told you, get into that state. I'll send you the mala and bracelet to your hand directly. He was shaken. He said, no, you just give in the hand. Then I sent the brahmachari who brought him, asked him, why is he afraid? Why is he not ready to receive that? I said, I'll teleport this mala and bracelet to your hand. You just sit there. And you go into the maximum, highest awareness you know. By any mantra you chant. I'll now transfer this to your hand. Then he said, it seems, no, what I am doing is like a small dust. Swamiji is like a cyclone. I may disappear into him. He is like a ocean, I am like a well. If he enters me, I may lose my identity. I may surrender my life and stay here itself. Then I told him, that is what is enlightenment. You are asking for enlightenment when I wanted to give. You are shaken. This guy can do some uchadana, but unfortunately has not learnt the science of how to relax and loosen yourself from the nervous. Problem with all these fellows who learn one or two arts of this samyama and uchadana, they can play with one or two powers. But they can't disconnect themselves from their nerves, their nervous system. Ability to disconnect yourself from your nadis and enter as you want, as you feel, is real freedom. We should teach all these signs to our kids. The first step for this is intensely build your body without creating desires. Understand? Build the body heavily, but not for the sake of enjoying sexual pleasure or taste or any other pleasure. Just for no reason heavily build the body. You will be building the muscles and nervous system which is pure and no desire, with which you can either connect whenever you want or loosen yourself whenever you want. I'll explain the deeper sides and deeper mysteries of the same sutra in the next level. Still I have not completed my homework with Hatha Yoga Sutras. So whatever Patanjali states, the basic thing I am revealing in this satsang. Tomorrow I will open little more and explain detailed way along with the other ideas from other supporting truths, sacred secrets from Hatha Yoga and from other commentators of Patanjali. And for next few days I will talk on this samyama and lead you to every day a different techniques and process to experience your nadi and at least one outer body experience I'll make you guys experience, give you the glimpse of at least one outer body experience. I bless you all. Let you all achieve, experience, live, express, radiate and share the eternal bliss. Nithyananda. Thank you.
Trust in you, 'cause you know it's best for me to lead a blissful life, a life with no more strife. Can't believe the things I do, just to spend a little time with you, nothing will compare. I know you will take care.
You're always showing us compassion, your love is endless like an ocean. Nithyananda, Nithyananda. My life's become a meditation. Ever since we had a deep connection, Nithyananda.